bringing folks together to solve our common problems. And week after week, I see him read the letters he gets from people across this country. And let me tell you, he writes back because he knows that they are who he serves. I see him dedicating himself to helping folks on the margins, folks who often don't have a voice. That is the work of his life, from his days as a community organizer in Chicago to his time in the White House today. And we all know that empathy, that preparation, that moral compass, that relentless work ethic have led to so much progress over the past 7 years. We've gone from the brink of another great depression in this country to our businesses creating more than 14 million new jobs. Our unemployment rate has been cut in half. Our deficits are down by 2/3. Our high school graduation rates are the highest on record. Over 20 million more people now have health insurance. And people in this country are finally free to marry the person they love. And on the global stage, the vast majority of our troops are home today. And our country isn't putting our heads in the sand on climate change. No, we are leading the way to stop it. I could go on and on, but that's the progress we've seen under this president. That's the kind of change we all hoped was possible 8 years ago. Yet too often, instead of acknowledging or celebrating this change, we have a tendency to focus on conflict and controversy. We pay endless attention to folks who are blocking action, blocking judges, blocking immigration, blocking a raise in the minimum wage, just blocking. We are consumed with the anger and vitriol that are bubbling up with folks shouting at each other, using hateful and divisive language. And then there are the countless times when that language gets personal and is directed at my husband. Charges that he doesn't love our country. The time he was called a liar in front of joint session of Congress. The non-stop questions about his birth certificate and his belief in God. Now I know that politics has always been a rough sport. I also know that well-meaning folks can get heated in the midst of contentious debates. And in light of today's 24-hour news cycle, in this era where our Facebook feeds are limited to the voices of folks who think exactly like we do, and our TVs and radios are exclusively tuned in to those who tell us only what we want to hear, it's not surprising that our disagreements have become more personal, more intense. It's not surprising that we too often demean or dismiss opinions that are different than our own. But we would be kidding ourselves if we didn't acknowledge that those age-old issues that have always roiled our country, the problems a lot of folks would just rather brush under the rug, those challenges are still with us today. We can't deny it. However, graduates, even in these volatile times, it would be unfair for us to ignore the changes we've seen in a generation. No longer can we be barred from a university or hotel or arrested for sitting at the front of the bus or forced to use a separate bathroom or water fountain because of the color of our skin. No one's gonna poll test us by demanding that